Donald Trump's business-first approach didn't just shake up American politics, it changed the global economic landscape. From dissolving NAFTA to the Greenland purchase proposal, his policies reflected his signature style: bold, aggressive, and often controversial. But what were the real impacts? Let's break it down. Before politics, Trump built his empire on real estate, branding, and high-stakes negotiation. As president, he approached the country like one of his businesses, with a focus on leverage, branding, and deal-making. His philosophy? Every deal had to be a win, and if it wasn't, he'd renegotiate or walk away. Simple as that. Unlike past presidents who relied on traditional diplomacy, Trump brought an aggressive, transactional style to the White House. But did this approach translate into real economic wins? Let's take a look at NAFTA, one of the biggest deals he took on. NAFTA, the 1994 agreement between the US, Canada, and Mexico, was a cornerstone of North American trade. But Trump saw it differently. He believed it was an outdated deal that sent American jobs overseas, especially to Mexico. In its place, he introduced the USMCA, a new trade agreement that aimed to bring manufacturing back to the US with stricter labor laws and tougher rules for automakers. On paper, USMCA seemed like an upgrade. It created more protections for American workers and addressed gaps in the original deal. But for companies that had built entire supply chains around NAFTA, it was a disruption, forcing adjustments that came at a cost. So, was replacing NAFTA with USMCA a strategic win, or did it create new challenges? But here's where it gets interesting. How does this tie into Trump's bigger vision for American dominance? We'll get to that shortly. In one of his most ambitious moves, Trump suggested buying Greenland from Denmark. On the surface, it seemed absurd, like something straight out of a Monopoly game. But was there a deeper strategy at play? Greenland holds massive strategic value. It's positioned at a key Arctic crossroads, rich in untapped resources like rare earth minerals, and it already hosts US military bases. From a business perspective, think of Greenland like prime real estate, undeveloped, full of potential, and a valuable asset in the right hands. However, Denmark wasn't selling, and Greenland's citizens wanted more independence, not a new landlord. Despite the rejection, the idea brought attention to Greenland's geopolitical importance. Could it still be on America's radar? Speaking of strategic moves, let's talk about the Gulf of Mexico. Or should we say, the Gulf of America? Trump floated the idea of renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. A branding move? Maybe. But there's more to it than just a name. The Gulf is one of the busiest trade routes in the world, crucial for energy exports and shipping logistics. Rebranding it could serve as a powerful statement of dominance, reinforcing America's control over these vital waters. But at the same time, it raised concerns. Would it create unnecessary tensions with neighboring countries? Regardless of the name, the Gulf remains a critical piece of America's economic puzzle. But there's another waterway that might be even more important: the Panama Canal. While not widely discussed during Trump's presidency, the Panama Canal remains one of the most critical choke points for global trade. Every year, billions of dollars worth of goods pass through this 50-mile stretch, connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Control over the canal is like having the keys to the world's economic traffic. With China increasing its presence in Panama, some argue that the US should reassert its influence to protect its interests. Trump's America First policies focused on securing economic advantages, but did they overlook opportunities like this one? The canal is just one piece of the puzzle. How did the rest of the world react to Trump's policies? Trump's policies weren't just domestic talking points, they made waves across the world. Some international business leaders saw his trade moves as a necessary correction, forcing foreign companies to take the US more seriously. Others, however, viewed them as isolationist, disruptive, and damaging to long-standing alliances. For example, manufacturers in Mexico faced uncertainty over tariffs, while Asian suppliers scrambled to adjust to new rules. One thing's for sure, Trump's economic playbook left no one indifferent. So, did Trump's business-first approach make America stronger, or did it create more division? His presidency was marked by bold moves, calculated risks, and constant negotiations. Some argue his strategies secured economic wins, while others claim they caused unnecessary turbulence. No matter where you stand, one thing is clear. Trump's approach to running America was anything but conventional. What do you think? Did Trump's approach work, or was it just showmanship? Let's discuss in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's next. But here's what you really need to know. While we're debating Trump's business moves, something even bigger is happening. China just made an AI breakthrough that could change the entire global power structure. And trust me, the implications are massive. From AI-powered robots to the race for superintelligence, we are entering a new era. And I'll be breaking it all down very soon. So stay locked in, because the next video, it's going to be big.